What is going on, guys? Ultimate Deadpool here. As you can tell by the title of this video, I am reviewing The Boys Season 1 and 2, because I just finished the second season today. And I'm going to start off by saying I never read any of The Boys comic books. I never really knew they existed until I saw the show, or heard about the show. So I have no idea what the source material is based on, or anything of the sorts. I'm going to go ahead and say this before anybody asks. There's going to be one or two characters of the boys being made into minifigure form, only because I find them really fun in the show, and I like their characters. The rest of the characters, however, are not going to get minifigures. So that being said, Season 1. This is a two-part video, so this is part 1, and then the other half of this video will be part 2, which would be for Season 2. Wow. I will say so far I've liked the second season better than the first season, but the first season the whole show is just completely messed up in terms of schlocky gore, definite sexualities and scenes and stuff like that, which I'm okay with because I've seen a lot worse, especially in Deadpool. I watch Deadpool all the time, so I've seen stuff like that before, and I've seen my fair share of blood and guts and stuff when I watch my favorite horror movies and whatnot. So it's nothing new to me. But the way that they signify all that is really messed up in this show. I commend the studio for doing that, because that's a lot of risky stuff that you're not really able to do anymore. So I do commend the studios for doing that. But at the same time, it's like, holy crap, we don't need to see this particular shit for this long of a time span. All the characters so far are, they're fleshed out. Frenchie is a really fun character. I like Frenchie. Huey's a nice character. A little messed up in the first season, but second season kind of is still, is a nerd. And then Billy Butcher. Oh my god. That guy is one effed up dude. Mother's Milk is another good character. Odd name. I'm pretty sure he may have been named that way in the comics. I don't remember because I didn't read the comic books. But I'm going to take the show's word for it. The female, I think is what her name is. The one who doesn't talk. I don't remember her name. I don't remember her name off the top of my head. I'm really bad at coming to names when superheroes and shows that I don't remember or don't really know much about. So, I know virtually almost every character from Marvel and DC. Well, virtually. I know the main ones. This show, I don't know anybody's name. Except for, the ones that they glamify. So the actual boys' characters themselves, like the good guys of the show, I think are okay. The superheroes of the show, however, do not act like superheroes at all. They act more like supervillains with a good side to them. For instance, there's a scene where Homelander literally kills an entire plane full of people just because he doesn't want to fly them out one at a time. Call up Superman anytime. Son of a bitch has done that several times and has been able to successfully save everybody on the plane. And since Homelander is just a bad version of Superman, should have been easy. Because, hell, take Superman Returns for instance, where he frickin' catches the plane in the stadium and is able to safely put it on the ground. They don't do that. Because apparently Homelander is like unbelievably strong and is somehow possibly stronger than Superman. Which brings me to my first minifigure that would be made, Homelander. I love the Homelander character. I think it is a phenomenal version of bad version of Superman. Because like he's just a jackass, and I love that. I love that he's like he's charming and whatnot. Like he's kind of fun, and he's trying to play up that good guy persona. But then like as soon as the cameras turn off, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you! I swear to God, I'm gonna freaking kill you! You're dead! You're dead, man!" Like I love that. I love that twist, and I love that kind of character persona that they gave him. I'm sure it's taken directly from the comic book, so again, I'll just take everybody's word on that. But Anthony Starr is probably one of the best actors to possibly play Homelander, based off this show. And I really hope that the MCU gives him a role, because I've seen 2 rumors that he could play Dracula for Blade, which I can totally see. I can 100% see him playing Dracula. And the other character I think he would be really good as, and I've seen people fan cast him before, and I actually kind of want him better as this character than Dracula, is Wolverine. Because there is some really good fan art. If my editor is worth anything, there should be a photo showing up of him like Wolverine. And wow. He looks almost identical to Hugh Jackman. Obviously not exactly, but almost. It's close enough. So I honestly think that it would work. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So, the casting of the show is really good. Some of the cameo appearances that I guess you could call cameo, if you want to call them cameo appearances, are fun. Not all the jokes landed for me though, because I couldn't tell what they were joking about and then what they were being serious on. In this first season, but then the overall plot of the first season to me was just, it kind of felt like it was just forced just to introduce the characters and to get the audiences to know and like these characters or dislike certain characters, and it kind of just felt, I don't know, splotched in, if that makes any sense. So it's like, we're going to introduce this character, we're going to introduce this character is going to do this character is going to do this, we're going to do this, and this, and then we're going to explain it all at this point. So it kind of felt like that, but again, not a bad show. The season 1 finale, however, is what really turned me on a 180, because I swear to God, I thought I hated this show when I was watching the first season. I seriously was not enjoying what I was watching in the first season, because like I said, I do like the second season a hell of a lot better than I did the first one. Because to me, the first season just came off as really, really slow. There were the snippets of action and whatnot they were kind of throwing in there, but the second season definitely picks all that up, and it still has its slow spots, but season 1 just came off as very, very, very slow. At least to me, when I watched it, it just came off extremely slow. Not a whole lot was going on, but the stuff that does go on, it's like, oh, this is so fun, stuff like that. But that season 1 finale, man, was just completely messed up. With Billy Butcher literally being, brought to his, what was presumed to be dead wife, to see Homelander and his son be like, hey, guess what? Your wife's alive, and she had my kid. And you don't get to do anything, so screw you, dude. And just, it cuts it there. Brilliant. I thought that was brilliant. And I love the twist that she was still alive. As well as the kid, because that was, again, a really smart choice. Again, not sure if it's taken directly from the comic books, so don't quote me on that. But again, I thought that twist was really, really well done. And for someone like me who had never read the books or really knew anything about these characters until I watched the show, I thought that was a really smart move. And that's what turned me 180 degrees on this show as a whole. Seriously, when I say this, I was not liking this show at all when I was watching it. I'm like, oh, this is so disgusting, this is so weird, why do I need to see this crap? But the only reason I kept watching it is because all my coworkers at my job at Home Depot would not stop talking about it and referencing it all the time, and I had no idea what the hell they were talking about. So, to not feel left out, I started watching the show. That, it was something I was probably going to watch eventually anyway, so I just decided to go ahead and get it over with. So, now it brings us on to the second half of this video, the second season, where things start getting way better for me. Don't get me wrong, the first season was okay, but it was not really working for me. The second season, however, I think was really well done, and is what really changed my mind on this show from being like a, okay, I'll watch this every now and then type of show, to where like, okay, this is pretty good. I like this. I'll watch this from time to time. But that's kind of what I feel. That's the kind of, and that's no joke. That's an honest reaction. I was seriously like, okay, now that I'm in the second season, I'm like, okay, things are turning around. This is not bad. The kill scenes in the second season were messed up, and I thought the first season was bad. And then the second season solidified my both love and hate for Homelander, because he is just a straight up jackass. He literally takes his son 20 feet in the air on top of a rooftop of a house, and because he thinks that since he's like, oh, well, you're my son, you'll have all my powers, you'll have all my special abilities and whatnot, you'll be able to do this no problem, and pushes a essential child off of a rooftop. Messed up. And unlike, and I'm only using this as a reference, Hotel Transylvania, that's my phone going off.
God, you say great. When someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
I'm going to put that on silent now. So there's a little bit of a blooper for you. Unlike in the Hotel Transylvania 2 basically does the same thing. Dracula takes his grandson up there, and he pushes him off a much higher fall than 20 feet, but he actually catches him. Homelander does not catch the kid. And while, yeah, this kid in Hotel Transylvania was like 5, the kid in The Boys was about maybe 6 or 7, give or take. Maybe 8, pushing it. And he doesn't catch him. No. Doesn't try to save him, just, you're done. Pushes him off. Tries to make him fly. And I remember I was watching that, I'm like, what the hell, man? And so, again, some of the raunchy stuff that they do put in this show was just making me not uncomfortable, but like kind of like, why would you do that type thing. Not like, again, I was okay with it because I've seen stuff like that before in Deadpool and a couple of other movies, but it's like, we don't need to glorify it like this. Like, I'm not gonna say too much because otherwise this video will probably be shot down by YouTube, but there's a scene with a character who can shapeshift into other people, and Homelander uses this person as therapy, for lack of a better term. And because the shapeshifting guy is so large compared to the person he's trying to mimic, he can only hold it for a certain amount of time before he reverts back. And the scene that goes down when that happens is so disgusting, I'm going to save you guys the trouble and just say do not watch it, because it is beyond disgusting. Not shaming the actor or anything else that was involved, but that scene is so disgusting and messed up that I was like, no, I don't need to see this. I do not need to see this. So, again, not fat shaming anybody, not calling anybody messed up or anything like that. The show itself, for doing that, was messed up because I don't want to see that. I don't need to see that. Let me rephrase that. I don't need to see that. The villain, the main villain of this second season was completely messed up. Because she was just portrayed as like this racist person and if she's like apparently over 100 years old and whatnot. It's like, okay, we get it, she's racist, and they don't have to keep escalating that fact, but they do. Which, and this is probably going to sound terrible, I both hate and respect the show for doing that. Because nowadays, especially, you can't make jokes like that. And even then, it wasn't played off as a joke, it was played off as being more politically correct seriousness, while also kind of, I guess, touching upon that subject. So, I mean, it's not definitely not a joke, and I don't find that stuff funny at all. Okay? I have several friends and stuff who go through the exact same shit all the time. And I don't think it's right when they go through it either. But the way that this show plays it out is it's like, okay, we get it. You don't have to keep harping on it. We don't need to see her hang out with Hitler or any of these other, bad people. Just, okay, touch upon it, move on to the next character. Or move on to the next scene. And they don't. They kind of just stick with that. And then there's like an entire scene dedicated to just showing how bad she is. And then by the time she, I guess, dies, I mean, if she doesn't really die, but she, might as well have, because she gets basically the Anakin Skywalker treatment. She's speaking in German Nazi. Which is completely messed up. And it's like, she's like mumbling in German and Nazi German language. I don't know if it was like actually German or if it was German Nazi language, because if I'm not mistaken, I think there is a difference between the two. I could be wrong. Somebody let me know down in the comments if there are two different languages like that. But still, she was like, I'm like, why? You're digging yourself into a bigger hole there, dude. And the second character that could possibly become a minifigure in my, I guess, the boys status would be Billy Butcher, because I do like him as a character. And I also do respect and highly like his actor from Thor Ragnarok. For those of you who may not know this, Billy Butcher in The Boys is the same actor who played Scourge in Thor Ragnarok, the one with the machine guns. I didn't realize it until I actually looked up his profile and saw that was his movie list, and he was in that movie. And then I'm like, oh, that's who he is. Okay, now I can hear it. Now I can see it. Because when I was watching it, I'm like, I swear to God, I've heard this guy before. I've seen this man somewhere else. What the hell have I seen him in? And it ended up being Thor Ragnarok. So like I said, the second season definitely does escalate things. I've heard several people say that seasons 2 and 3 are way worse than season 1. I disagree. Season 1 was definitely more violent than season 2 was. But season 2 was definitely a little bit more raunchy and graphic than season 1 was. So, in a way they're right, but in a way they're wrong. I mean, it is what it is. I didn't find it that way, so I guess in terms of like actual violence, season 1 was worse. In terms of adult fun time, the season 2 is way worse than season 1 was. Like I said, and just like season 1, I do like all the characters that they added, except for, I think her name was Stormlight or something. Storm something, and she was just a racist bitch, to be honest. She really was. But I was so glad when they killed her character off. I'm hoping she stays out of the show, because she was by far the worst part of the second season. All the other characters, though, I thought were okay. Not so much on the choices that some of these characters made, but okay. And then the season 2 finale, man. I about broke into tears when they killed Billy's wife and they made the kid do it. Because I knew it was coming. Not because of spoilers, but because she's that stereotype of, let's introduce a character, let's make you like that character, so that way by the time that character dies, you'll have a heartfelt attachment for it. And that's exactly what they played up here. So I saw it coming a mile away, and I'm sure a lot of people did when they first watched the show. But it's like, God, why do you gotta make the kid do it? Because, like, I can't even begin to imagine how much that would mess up that kid. So, yeah, it was messed up, man. It was really messed up. But the kid only did it to try to save his mother when he actually ended up accidentally killing his mother. So, again, understandable, but at the same time, that can seriously mess up your head. And I'm sure, and I'm probably hoping that they'll play along with that in season 3, if not season 4. I know season 4 hasn't been made yet. I know they're in the process of shooting it right now. If not already shot it, I could be wrong. Somebody tell me that in the comments below. But I do know that there's a season 4 coming. So the way the show ends, or the way the season ends, I think they set it up to where it could have ended the show, but since it did so well, they went ahead and greenlit a season 3, and they've made a season 3. Because the way they end the show definitely makes it seem like they could have ended it there. Like, you know, MM goes back to his wife and daughter. Billy goes off and does his own thing. He's got his own clean record. Huey goes out and he gets a job. He does his own thing. Starlight does her own thing. She does her own, and whatnot. But it really kind of seems like they kind of tied the whole story together to where it kind of ended. But they left it. They didn't really leave much of anything for season 3. But obviously history's spoken for itself, and there is a 3rd season, which apparently I've heard is the most disturbing ever. So I'll find that out later this week. If you guys want my review on that, comment down below. The Boys season 3, or just season 3 all the way, or something like that, so that way I know you guys want me to do a review of The Boys season 3. So that has concluded the reviews part of this video. There's a little bit of updates I need to do about the channel as a whole, so let's go ahead and get right into that. So one thing I will say is, I know I haven't made any stop motions yet, aside from an intro with the mummified Michelangelo and Johnny 5. That intro will actually come back in a later video when I'm actually able to do it. I have been meaning to make more stop motions. That was one of my goals for 2022 or 2023 was to finally make another stop motion movie. Because the last time I did that was when I did Nightwing, and since Nightwing was a complete failure, I haven't really done anything like that since. I've done miniseries, but I haven't done a full-length movie yet. I'm still up against the fence on whether or not I should make Spider-Man first or make Batman first. So, because I've got a pretty good idea for both of them, because they're both pretty much going to be origin stories. Mostly because I'm a sucker for origin stories. But at the moment, I'm reorganizing and redoing my studio set, so expect things to look a lot different when I do start doing stop motion stuff again. So, just as a heads up, whenever I do another video down here on my desk, it's going to look a little bit different. It's still going to be generically the same. It's just adding a backdrop and a couple of other things. So, just as a heads up. That's why I haven't really done any stop motion stuff like that. It's because A, I've been busy as hell at my job at Home Depot, so I haven't really had time to do anything. And second, when I am here, it's usually at like 10 o'clock at night, and I don't have time to shoot anything, let alone voice over anything. So, you know, I really haven't had time to do anything, so I appreciate those of you who are sticking around with me this long, despite not having any videos coming out lately. I promise you more videos are on the way, and they will be stop motion related. I actually came up with a really fun little gag on Batman's behalf. I won't say the premise of the video because it'll spoil the video, but just know it'll be funny as hell when it comes out, hopefully. And it's going to be taking some robot chickenisms. We'll put it that way. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm working hard trying to get all this stuff done. I'm only one person. And I hope you guys enjoy what's coming down the line. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys all next time for The Boys Season 3. Till next time, you guys are awesome. I'll catch you guys all later. Bye.